Jennifer Kanis is the former member for the District of Melbourne who entered Parliament in 2012 after she won the Melbourne by-election. She was previously a councillor on the Melbourne City Council, and in her bid for re-election in 2014, she was defeated by the Greens' Ellen Sandell. And Jennifer joins us now. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you.
So Jennifer, you campaigned in 2014 for the seat of Melbourne. What's behind your decision to run again this time?
I'm running again for Melbourne because I really think that politics and government is important, and good governments make a real difference to people's lives. And I've seen the Andrews government do a lot of reforms in its term. I've seen them do a lot of infrastructure building in their term, and there's still more things to do.
The Greens won this seat back in 2014. How confident are you in winning it back this time around?
Well, you can never be too pessimistic or too confident, I think, and we're out there talking to a lot of people. We're campaigning every day, and the feedback that we've been getting has been promising. Most people are telling us that they have been really pleased with what they've seen the Andrews Labor government deliver for Victoria and for Melbourne, but I think that most people really want to see a member of their local member being someone who can really deliver results, and who's not just someone who does petitions or sends a tweet, but is in amongst government, making sure that our voice is heard.
The Greens could win up to 5 seats in the next election, so that means they could get the balance of power. How do you still think that they would not have a voice in Parliament after this?
It's about having an effective voice in a government, and I leave it for the Greens to answer how they can do what they're promising. But certainly, from our perspective, Labor is wants to govern in its own right, and is not interested in forming a coalition with anyone else.
What infrastructure will Labor try to implement in the next Parliament if they do win?
Yes,
government?
So there's obviously the public transport infrastructure. It's the most ambitious public transport infrastructure build that we've seen in a very long time, with Melbourne Metro, the airport rail and the outer loop.
But those won't be completed until 2025.
You've got to start. If you don't start, you'll never finish. And infrastructure does take time. And one of the things that I'm really pleased to see this government do is take a long-term approach, because if you don't start planning for public transport, it will never happen. But some of the short-term things are making sure that we're building the schools that need to be built, that we're increasing the capacity of the schools that we already have. The level crossing program has made both our roads and our train network run more efficiently. We've got the high capacity trains as well to make sure it's more efficient too. So there's all those things that are happening to make sure that we do keep up with population.
Homelessness is a contentious issue in the electorate for the past 2 years. In your 2012 inaugural speech, you said that it was one of your big issues that you'd like to tackle in Parliament. How will you approach the issue this time?
There's not one solution that will fix homelessness, but I think there's a few things that we are doing and that we will do that will help with the issue. One of them is housing. This government has one of the biggest public housing building programs that's been really for decades. We are going to be building over 1,000 more public housing places. We're also renewing the public housing that we do have to make it more livable and increasing the public housing there.
Does that include privatising the public housing, the renewal program?
The renewal program will see a mix of both public and private housing in those redeveloped areas, which will see a much more cohesive community where you've got people of all different socioeconomic backgrounds living side by side. We also have invested in a youth homeless, both short and medium term project at Front Yard on King Street, and then an adult short and medium housing project on Flemington Road. Both of those will be completed during the next term of government. That will see some crisis accommodation available.
And finally, crime has been like a widely talked about issue in this electorate. What do you think about the Liberals saying that Victoria is experiencing a crime wave, an uncontrolled crime wave?
Well, I think you need to look at the facts in relation to crime in Melbourne and in relation to crime in Victoria. And the facts show that the crime in Victoria and Melbourne has actually decreased and that it isn't out of control. Of course, we need to make sure that we are keeping on top of public law and order, and we have given police the people and the laws that they need to be able to monitor and prevent crime. And I think we're seeing that pay off in Victoria with a decrease in the crime that we're experiencing. The issues with the Liberals talking about crime, I think, is really beating up something that is not actually happening, and we need to make sure that we're focused on the facts and focused on the things that really work to help stop and prevent crime.
Jennifer Kanis, thank you for your time.
My pleasure, thank you.